Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and today we'll be playing some Roblox Bedwars. Actually this isn't even the real Bedwars, this is a knockoff. So let's go. We're gonna have to wait until this match is finished. Kinda forgot how to spectate in this game. Fell, but that one was correct. I I think I actually forgot. Oh, I'm actually the old one in the server. I understand why. I'm the old one in the server. No wonder why. So I'm just gonna join a different server. Well, it already auto joined for me. No, I'm not joining the new Bedwars game. I, it just put me back in the same old server. Oh, no wonder why. It had 0 active. Bro, no wonder why there's no one in any of the servers. Because it has 0 people active. Oh, they're probably playing the new Bedwars game. You've been kicked by the experience source moderators. Okay, that does not make sense. Why am I being kicked from Bedwars? It says fail to upload profile. What do you mean by fail to upload profile? But I'm not. I'm gonna check on Bedwars tomorrow. I guess I'm gonna have to play a different game. I'm just gonna play Murder Mystery 2 instead. Guys, never mind. But nothing's wrong with MM2, so why can't I join Bedwars? Wait, Roman, can you do us a quick check for me? Roman, can you do a quick check for me? Can you join them? Can you join Bedwars and see if you can join? Can you do a quick check for me? Can you see if you can join Bedwars? I guess I can't play Bedwars today since something's wrong with the game. I don't know if I got banned or anything because I haven't done anything wrong. I swear to God, if this girl kills me, I'm gonna crash. I mean, shoots me, I'm gonna crash out. Why am I walking into crates? We're all cooked. We're all cooked. I'm gonna need. Oh, Jesus! What is that reach? What is that reach? Yes. I don't have no time to check that. Guys, I don't know if you can hear my friend, but if you can't hear him, then you might start and then talking to no one. This guy really had to camp. You want to know the secret? A mouse made before. My friend just said he's gonna join me. I'm putting my phone at one of the speakers now, so you might be able to hear him. If you don't, then you just have a hearing problem. No offense. Sorry. What about Gundam stuff? Finally, someone won. My friend just hanged up for no reason.
I so pissed on.
Dude, why'd you hang up?
I couldn't hear you.
No, because I wasn't talking. No wonder why you couldn't hear me. Because I wasn't talking.
You know why I'm getting it from Mars. The other player, it's lagging.
Probably lagging, but they didn't have icing, so it's probably only lagging. And auto sab also gives you high reach, so you're probably on mobile, like me.
It could be like 10 million miles away.
Why do I keep getting innocent? It takes like 5 billion years to get sheriff or murderer, and then I just die sometimes. Here's a murder from last one. Jeez! Okay, I guess that guy's blind. Man is a jumping kangaroo. And now he's camping.
Oh, he's camping. Where? In his own camp.
And he has insane reach. He just stopped the girl from Mars. And he's super fast, although he doesn't have the hit back. There he is, bro. He's camping, bro. Camping behind the wall. Bro, go around the other way and distract him. So I can get the gun and shoot him.
Yeah. Oh, what if I die? Hello.
Yes. Hey, don't do that, bro. There's gonna be people watching when I post the video.
We're camping and still losing.
And somehow nobody called it out. And now you're probably gonna call it out. Actually, I'm gonna call it out. Finally.
Why was
Why do I keep getting innocent, dude? Bro, which one of these persons have the radio? Have their radio on? Yeah, someone has their radio on. They're playing Crab Rave. Jesus. I see the murderer. sheriff just shoot me? How did the sheriff just shoot me?
Bro, the sheriff's stupid.
That sheriff needs to get some brain cells. Although they don't sub
Oh, they blocking again, weird.
W, but hacker, but at the same time he's also a L hacker because he might do that to me when I'm murdered. And
Yeah,
sometimes hackers do that to sheriffs too.
But like, you usually just stop things. That's what I'm
Most of the
doing.
times hackers are just these little kids.
That's what I'm doing to people? That was what I was doing to people, bro.
What do you mean that's what you were doing to people?
I remember, bro.
Remember what?
The time when I did try hacking.
Wait, were you hacking in MM2 once?
Twice, actually.
Oh, I remember now. You were hacking in M2 and I should have reported you. But that was on your other account and I should have reported that account so that account could get banned and you could never hack again. But you might account on your my account. I mean, you might hack on your main account or might create another account and start hacking again. Yes, I'm sheriff. If you ever stab me, I will crash out on you. I will stab you when I'm murderer and I will stab you, keep on stabbing you until every time I get murdered. And that you will be the first one to get stabbed.
Why, bro?
Because if you ever stab me, because I told you my role and you better tell me the truth. Are you murderer?
No, bro. I mean, now show me.
If you... Bro, you're probably the murdered then.
How did you miss that? How did you miss that?
Bro, I didn't shoot. I didn't shoot. Or you're getting chased by the murderer?
Wait. Is it a murder?
How did I miss that shot?
Yes, he is.
I genuinely have batted. Jesus. I need something. Hey. Bro got cooked even when being a man.
Bro, wait. Look at the top person's avatar. Look for it.
What?
Funny person's top avatar.
What do you mean top avatar?
Like, look funny avatar.
Wait, is there using Pancake? Because I didn't look.
Bro has
oh yeah, wait, Pancake is the only one.
Trade? Oh. He's trying to trade the monkey. He's trying to trade the ooh-ah.
No, base. Yes, I'm sheriff again. And if you ever kill me, I'll stab you every time I become murderer. And you'll be the first one to be stabbed. Just remember that.
It's the point of the game. I will stab you, bro. It's a point of the game.
No, if you stab me first.
So if that's somebody said that I'd go for you next.
No. No. Yeah. No, bro. Jesus! I got attacked by a monkey person. I am not racist, I am black. I am not racist. I literally got stabbed by a monkey person.
Me? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
You?
Damn uncle. The uncle's dead.
Are you sure about that? Because I was just expecting the murder and you weren't really breaking any ankles. You were just sitting there on the ladder. The bro got killed right there and slided down.
Let me speak. Hi. I heard live spectating me before I was laughing, bro. And I joked her when I was laughing, brother. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Dude, she was literally, for some reason, she was sitting there on the ladder, so you didn't really joke her.
Bro, I didn't joke her. What do you mean, bro?
No. If you even listened to what I just said, you would realize. If you even listen to what I... Let me talk. If you even listen to if you even let if you even listen to what I just said before the video, she was literally sitting there on the ladder, figuring just figure out what she was supposed to do, and he just jumped off. I okay, why did I get flinged? I was murdered and I just got flinged for no reason. And now I'm in the lobby and I just got flinged again. Finally, I can be murdered in peace. I swear to God, if I get flung again. How am I even gonna be able to stop that? Like I said, I cannot stop that. Me, Avatar should be banned from M2, not gonna lie. Now, now the hacker's trying to fling me, which makes it unfair for other players. Eh, yo. I'm just throwing you. You got to be serious right now. Are you serious right now? The stupid hacker. He was the sheriff, but then how did the Shaolin guy just shoot him? That didn't make any sense. I swear to God, if we get banned, I'm gonna crash out. Yes, that finally someone picks Millbase. Someone in right mind picks what you should actually pick. Yes, sir. I don't remember friending anybody named Nash. Oh, actually, yes, I do. I don't even know what. Okay, I'm not going to hack him. Now, someone do not just come out of the shadows and stab me again. Do not come near me. Oh, there was where I was gonna crush. Oh, she was the murderer? And plus, I didn't shoot her. She just reset or left. Okay. Yes, mail base again. Jesus, why is the hacker here? Let's report the hacker. Wait, did he get banned? Nope. I am not adding him as a friend. If you think I would do that, you must be crazy. Oh, the murderer just left. Why does the murderer keep leaving? Or resetting? I don't know. Oh, I think the hacker flung the murderer. Explains much. Opa Gundam style.
We have to wait how long before we can use the manicure? Not even that long. It's gonna go by like that. Cisco. 29 days.
A month?
This is one teeny stop cicadas purge. You know, historically speaking, this is way faster than we've ever sent a big bad, so we can't wait though. If he finds another meta or comes after us, we have to speed this up somehow.
We have to wait for the compound to fully synthesize or it won't be able to effectively neutralize the dark matter in a metahuman pituitary gland.
Barry, we're gonna have to wait. Yes, we took it into the Speed Force.
You want him to go into the Speed Force for a month and then come out the same day that he left?
I'm not saying you manipulate time, I'm saying you manipulate dark matter. Simple chemistry. When you're synthesizing a compound, we use a
Catalyst?
catalyst, right? And the most efficient catalyst you can use when synthesizing a compound that negates dark matter is superhuman.
Tachyon.
The best with tachyon are the most dense.
Might actually work.
Be like nuking it in a pan-dimensional microwave.
How much time would he save? From 29 days down to 60 minutes.
Yeah, it's gonna be faster. I'll see you in an hour. We have to wait how long before we can use them? While Peter and Iron Man were extinguishing the fire from a failed experiment, they argued about Peter's tendency to work alone and how being an Avenger means relying on the team. When Scorpion attacks the city, Peter charges in with his spider bots, eager to prove he can handle things on his own. But the rest of the Sinister Six ambush him mid-battle. Peter gets beaten up and the bots rush back to the tower, fail to find Tony, and accidentally activate the Iron Man suit, which attaches itself to them. Then they fly back and save Peter. After the fight, Peter apologizes, thinking it's Stark, admitting he's not used to Stark finds them and turns them into his next toilet, unaware that Tony saw everything and is smiling proudly. While Peter and Iron Man were extinguishing the fire from a failed experiment,
Okay. Ooh, murder. I swear to... What does this guy even have to trade? Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely... Are you serious?
This guy is a real-life Peter Parker. He built a custom Spider-Man suit with a built-in web shooter. He mixed a couple of chemicals to create a working web shooter that could even grab a water bottle. For the suit, he hand-traced everything with silicone to create a highly detailed suit. He even created the Venom version of the suit. If you look closely, the eyes can even move and show expressions just like the real Spider-Man. It just shows how passionate he is about making his dream a reality. And maybe someday he can really figure out the formula and swing around the city. Do you think he has what it takes to be a real Spider-Man? This guy is a real-life Peter Parker. He built a custom Spider-Man suit with a built-in...
Who has the crispiest chicken? Starting with Popeye. Can I get the crispiest chicken that you have there? He's a big box. He ain't that big if you ever ask me. That's what she said. 7 out of 10. Next up, KFC. Can I get one of your crispiest chicken? Fries? It's a bit dry. And the chicken. Oh, that's hot. Crispy and oily. You need to come get your oil. 8 out of 10. But can churches be crispier?
Bro, where's the merch?
Oh, wait, that is big. Don't say it. No, nobody say that to me.
Yeah, nobody said.
Why does the murder... Oh, yeah.
at the Clearwater Beach Resort. Instead, I walked up to a different family in the lobby because the dad was holding a sign that said Dylan. They were the Mitchells, and apparently they're... My father said, what happens at home stays at home. My sister's 911 call made sure it didn't. I was standing in the driveway loading camping gear into my Jeep when I heard the sirens, 3 patrol cars, lights blazing, tearing down our quiet suburban street at 4:37 p.m. on a Thursday afternoon. My first thought was that the Kowalski house was on fire again. Old man Kowalski left his grill unattended last summer and nearly burned down his garage. But the cars didn't stop at the Kowalski. They stopped at my house, at our house, the house where I'd lived for 22 years, where my parents still live with my 16-year-old sister Sophie. I dropped the tent bag I was holding and it hit the concrete with a dull thud. 4 officers were already moving up the walkway, hands on their holsters. One of them was speaking into his radio. Another was looking directly at me. My stomach dropped in a way that had nothing to do with surprise and everything to do with recognition. Some part of me, some buried instinct, knew exactly why they were here. I just hadn't let myself believe it ever actually happened. The front door opened before the officers could knock. My father,
Yes,
wearing his
I
green
forgot.
khakis and polo shirt, his reading glasses pushed up on his forehead. He looked confused, concerned. The picture of a respectable middle-aged man interrupted during a quiet afternoon at home. Can I help you, officers? He asked in that calm, reasonable voice he used at parent-teacher conferences.
Forgot the hacker
The
thing.
lead officer, a woman with gray hair, pulled back in a tight bun, didn't return his smile. Thomas Brennan, she asked. My father nodded slowly. I'm Officer Lisa Ramsey. We received a 911 call from this address approximately 20 minutes ago. We need to come inside and verify everyone's safety. I watched my father's face. I'd learned
What?
to read his micro-expressions over 2 decades. The slight
Where did
tightening
I
of his
get
eyes, the way his jaw
hit
clenched for just a
from?
fraction of a second. The almost imperceptible shift in his posture was welcome and defensive. A 911 call, he said. He sounded genuinely puzzled. There must be some mistake. No one here called 911. My wife is at book club and my son, that's him in the driveway. He's been packing for a camping trip all afternoon. And your daughter, Officer Ramsey asked, and something in her tone made my blood run cold. Sophie, she's upstairs in her room, probably on her phone, doing homework. Teenagers, you know how it is. My father smiled, trying to establish rapport, man to woman, parent to parent. But Officer Ramsey didn't smile back. You need to see her now. That's when I knew. Sophie had called me. Sophie had finally broken the first and most sacred rule of the Brennan household. What happens at home stays at home. My father had been drilling that into us since we were children. It was the family motto, the unbreakable code. When Mom got a black eye from walking into the cabinet, that stayed home. When Dad put his fist through the wall next to Sophie's head during an argument about her grades, that stayed home. When I'd shown up to school with bruises on my ribs from falling off my bike, that stayed home. We were a respectable family. Dad was a senior project manager at a tech company. Mom volunteered at the library. We lived in a nice neighborhood, went to a good school, had a 2-car garage and a finished basement. From the outside, we were perfect. And my father would do anything to keep that facade intact. I'd been living this double life for as long as I could remember. In school, I was the quiet kid who got decent grades and played JV basketball. At home, I was really bad when Dad had a bad day at work. A verbal target when he had too many beers. A witness to violence I couldn't stop. But I learned the rules early. Keep your head down, don't make waves, protect the family image, and most importantly, never ever tell anyone outside these walls what really went on inside them. Sophie was 12 years younger than me, an accidental late-life pregnancy that had strained our parents all around. I tried to shield her with
Bro, stupid hacker.
our father's rage. The guilt ate at me constantly. I'd essentially abandoned her to save myself, got just enough distance to breathe while leaving her trapped in the same hell I'd grown up in. Officer Ramsey was speaking into her radio now, requesting backup at a social room. My father's mask was slipping. This is ridiculous, he said, his voice taking on an edge. You can't just barge into my home and demand to see my daughter without a warrant. This is harassment. Another officer, a younger man with a military bearing, stepped forward. Sir, when we receive a 911 call reporting domestic violence from a minor, we have legal authority to enter the premises and ensure the minor's safety. You can cooperate, or we can obtain an emergency protective order. Your choice. Domestic violence. The words hung in the air like an accusation, like the truth they'd always been, but that no one had ever said out loud in connection with our family. My father's face flushed red. My daughter is confused. She's going through a rebellious phase. Teenagers make things up, exaggerate. She probably got mad because I took her phone away for missing curfew. He was already building the narrative, laying the groundwork for discrediting her. I'd seen him do it before. And what happened next changed everything. To see the full story.
If I forgot to mention my friend
father said, what happened? I accidentally joined the strangers' family vacation and ended up dating their daughter. I was
I swear to God, stupid hacker. Well, I'm not even gonna say anything for this round. Because I already know I might be flawed.
I'm Dylan from Boston, and I wasn't paying attention. The dad, Richard, grabbed my suitcase. Dylan, thank God you made it. Traffic from the airport, okay? I opened my mouth. Barbara was already hugging me. We're so glad you're here. Richard's been talking about this fishing trip for months. Fishing trip? My Dylan had been fishing. I should have heard my first clue. But Richard was already walking towards the elevator. Barbara had her arm like and somehow I found myself nodding along. Yeah, traffic is fine. Happy to be here. The lie came out so quickly that I corrected myself. Why didn't I correct them? I still don't know. Maybe because Richard seemed so excited. Maybe because admitting I was a complete stranger felt more awkward than just figuring it out later. Maybe because I'm a idiot. We got to their suite. Richard started unpacking fishing gear while explaining the week's itinerary. Deep sea fishing on Monday, snorkeling on
Someone might
Wednesday,
be in the
softball tournament on Friday.
bedroom.
Barbara brought out a cooler full of sandwiches. Let's get started. I made your favorite, turkey and
No,
Swiss.
do
I
you?
hate Swiss cheese, but I ate it anyway because I was in too deep to back out now. That's when she walked in. Richard's daughter, carrying shopping bags and looking exhausted. Dad, the resort gift shop is a scam. They wanted $40 for sunscreen. She stopped when she saw me sitting on the couch eating a sandwich. Who's this? That's Dylan, Barbara said happily. Richard's nephew from Chicago. Haven't seen him since his daughter, Isabel, stared at me hard, breathing hard, her eyes narrowed. Dylan has a tattoo of a compass on his left forearm. I remember because he got it when he turned 18, and Linda was furious. I was wearing a t-shirt. Both my forearms were completely visible, completely blank. The room went quiet. I should have confessed right then. Instead, I heard myself say, I got it removed last year. Bad breakup, long story. Isabel's eyebrows shot. Her parents nodded sympathetically. Richard patted my shoulder. Smart move, son. Fresh start. Isabel didn't stop staring. She knew. I could see it in her face. She knew I was lying, but she wasn't saying anything. After her parents
Jesus,
left, she
fuck,
checked
I
dinner
got
reservations.
kicked
She sat down
from
across from me.
something.
So, Dylan from Chicago. What's my real cousin's middle name? My mind went completely blank. Thomas. It's Alexander, and he's 6'4", not whatever height you are. And he's been in Madrid for the past 6 months on a study abroad program, which my parents apparently forgot. because
So
they're
when
distracted.
actually shot the hacker
She
and
leaned back across the office. Who are you,
I
actually? I told her
really?
everything. Wrong, Dylan. The sign in the lobby. This was cheese. I didn't even like. She listened to the whole thing with this
The
expression.
hacker actually
When I
the
finished, it was
fancy
quiet for a
G
moment. She
sauce.
started laughing. Not a polite laugh,
No
a real
wonder
laugh.
I haven't
This is
died
insane.
yet.
You've been here for 30 minutes. You're already eating my mom's sandwiches. I'm sorry, I said. I'll tell them right now. I'll explain everything. She held up her hand. Wait, how long were you planning to
Wait a
keep this
minute,
going? I was
where's
going to tell them at
the
dinner,
last
maybe
one?
tomorrow morning. I don't know. It spiraled so fast. Isabel made her lip. Here's the thing. My parents have been stressed for months. Dad's been working overtime. Mom's been dealing with her sister's trauma. This vacation is supposed to be their relaxation. If you tell them now, they'll feel terrible. I apologize. Situation. It was completely insane. It was also the kindest solution to the mess I created. We went to dinner, and I came to the meeting. Mr. and Mrs. Mitchell, I need to be honest. I'm not your nephew. My
Finally,
name is
the
actually
hacker
Ben. There was a
left.
mix-up in the lobby. Richard
That guy was so annoying.
Then they both started apologizing
Like,
profusely
the
for random
definition
strangers.
of
Isabel, I
annoying.
invited him to dinner since we already dragged him up.
Yes,
to the
smell
Seems
base.
nice and he's here alone. We ended up talking for 2 hours. Richard told fishing stories. Barbara showed me photos of their actual nephew. Isabel kicked me under the table every time I said something that made her laugh. When dinner ended, Richard insisted on helping me find my actual friend, Dylan. Turns out my Dylan was 3 floors up, wondering where I disappeared to. Join us for fishing on Monday, Richard said cheerfully. Anyone who can roll with a mistaken identity for 30 minutes is someone I want on my boat. I looked at Isabel. She was smiling. You should come. Someone needs to make sure Dad doesn't tell the same fish story 5 times. I went fishing, snorkeling, played in the beach volleyball tournament where Isabel and I absolutely destroyed her parents. We spent every day of that vacation together. The last night, we were walking on the beach and she saw me. Glad my parents grabbed the wrong Dylan. Me too.
Bruh.
I accidentally joined a stranger's family vacation and ended up.
How far will you go for your daughter's safety? I was making dinner when my daughter Lily walked through the door with blood running down her face and her school uniform torn at the collar. She was 9 years old and trying not to cry as she held a wadded paper towel against her nose. I dropped everything and rushed to her, my hands shaking as I pulled the paper towel away to see her split lip and the bruising already forming around her eye. What happened? She wouldn't look at me. I fell on the playground. That was the 4th time in 3 weeks she'd come home injured with the same explanation. The school nurse had sent her home with ice packs twice before, and each time I called asking what was going on, I got the same response from Vice Principal Whitman that kids get hurt during recess and these things happen. But this wasn't normal playground roughhousing. This was my daughter's face. I took her to urgent care where they documented everything. A fractured nose, split lip requiring 4 stitches, contusions consistent with being struck repeatedly in the face. The doctor asked Lily directly what happened, and she started crying, finally admitting that a boy named Dante had been he punched her during recess when teachers weren't looking, pushed her downstairs, and slammed her fingers in her locker. She told 3 different teachers, and they'd all said to stop paddling. The urgent care bill was $890 after insurance. I drove straight to the school the next morning and demanded to speak with Principal Kensington. She kept me waiting an hour before finally letting me into her office, where she sat behind her desk with her hands folded and this condescending smile. Mrs. Abbott, I understand what you said. Your children exaggerate. Dante is a good student from a wonderful family. His parents are major donors to our building fund. I showed her the medical report and photos of Lily's injuries. Principal Kensington barely glanced at them before sliding them back across her desk. These could have happened anywhere. We have no evidence of the allegations your daughter is making. And frankly, Lily has been having behavioral issues. She pulled out a folder with incident reports claiming Lily had been disruptive in class, disrespectful to teachers, and aggressive with other students. Every single report was dated after the first time I called complaining about injuries. I realized immediately they were creating a paper trail to discredit her. When I demanded they review security footage from the playground and hallways, Principal Kensington said the cameras in those areas had been malfunctioning for months and there was no footage available. She suggested I consider whether Lily might be considered a different school that could address her special needs. I called the superintendent's office and was told they couldn't override the principal's assessment without concrete evidence. I filed a police report and the officer said school matters had to be handled by the school unless there was proof of criminal assault, which meant witnesses or video. He suggested I hire a lawyer. I contacted a lawyer who said I could sue the school district, but it would cost at least $15,000 up front and take years. The schools had qualified immunity that made these cases nearly impossible to win. Every single door slammed in my face while my daughter was terrified to go to school. That night I couldn't sleep, so I did what desperate parents do. I searched online for other families dealing with the same thing at Riverside Elementary. I found a Facebook group with 85 members, all parents from our school. I posted about Lily and within 2 hours had messages from 6 other families whose children had been targeted
Sophie crying. But when I opened the door, the scene froze me in place. Gerald Thorne, my wife's father, stood over Sophie's crib with a syringe in his hand, the needle still pressed against her tiny thigh. Sophie's face was purple with agony, her mouth open in a scream so raw it didn't even produce sound at first. Just this desperate gasping that made my heart stop. Gerald looked up at me calmly, like he'd been caught doing something mildly embarrassing rather than torturing an infant. He pulled the needle out and set it on the changing table with deliberate precision. She needs to learn early, he said in that professor voice he used when explaining things to me he considered intellectually inferior. Pain tolerance separates the worthy from the weak, giving her an advantage most children never receive. I lunged forward and grabbed Sophie from the crib, her tiny body rigid and trembling against my chest. Her skin was burning hot, sweat soaking through her onesie. What did you inject her with? My voice came out strangled, barely. Gerald wiped the injection site on Sophie's leg with an alcohol pad, still moving with that infuriating calm. A carefully calibrated dose of capsaicin solution. Highly concentrated. It causes intense burning pain, but no permanent death. The body's pain receptors become more efficient after repeated exposure. He said it the way someone might explain it in an exercise routine. Sophie finally found her voice and screamed properly, a sound of pure suffering that tore through my chest. I could feel her heart hammering against my palm, too fast, dangerously fast.
Bruh.
You're insane, I said, backing toward the door. I'm calling an ambulance. Gerald moved between me and the doorway with surprising speed for a man in his 60s. Think about what you're doing, Ethan, he said. You call paramedics and tell them what? That I gave my granddaughter a substance that will be out of her system in a few hours. That I was helping her develop resilience. They'll think you're hysterical.
What? You got to be serious.
Your wife asked me to stay to me to help with the baby. She trusts me completely. That stopped me because he was right. My wife, Vanessa, worshipped her father. Gerald Thorne was a retired biologist, published author on evolutionary psychology, a man who raised 3 successful children. Vanessa had told me 100 times how her father's unconventional methods had made her stronger, more capable than others. I thought she meant things, educational challenges, and high expectations. Now, Vanessa, I shouted. Get in here now. Footsteps pounded down the hallway, and Vanessa burst into the nursery. Her face creased. She'd been exhausted from months of interrupted sleep and postpartum recovery. What's wrong? Why is Sophie screaming? She reached for our daughter instinctively, but I turned away, keeping Sophie against my chest. Your father injected her with something, he said, some kind of pain compound. He said he's training her to tolerate suffering. Words sounded insane coming out of my mouth, but Sophie's continued screaming and Gerald's calm presence made them undeniable. Vanessa looked at her father with confusion rather than horror. Dad, what's he talking about? Gerald's expression softened when he looked at his daughter, cold scientist persona replaced by something warmer. I was beginning Sophie's conditioning protocol, he explained gently. The same protocol I used with you and your siblings when you were infants. You don't remember because you were too young, but I documented everything. The results, he gestured at Vanessa. You've never backed down from a challenge. You've never let fear or discomfort stop you from achieving your goals. That strength came from early conditioning. Vanessa's face went through several emotions quickly. Confusion, disbelief, something that might have been recognition. You did this to me when I was a baby. Her voice was small, uncertain. Gerald nodded. Starting at 3 months old, controlled exposure to pain stimuli, gradually increasing intensity over the first 2 years. It rewires the nervous system's response to suffering. Children who undergo the protocol show remarkable resilience later in life. He pulled a leather-bound journal from his overnight bag. I kept detailed records. Methodology works. His words made my blood run cold. To see the full story, click the link below or go on my channel. My father-in-law injected our baby with something that made her scream for hours, saying, I owe my promotion to the manager who mocked me in a meeting she forgot was recording. I'm sitting at my desk, staring at a notification that makes my hands go numb against the keyboard. The company cloud just auto-saved a recording from yesterday's leadership meeting that I was not invited to. My name is in the file title and my stomach drops through the floor. I click on it and my headphones press tight against my ears as I turn up the volume. My manager Veronica's voice fills my head. She's laughing about something. I hear her say my name again. My whole body goes rigid in my office chair. The other managers are laughing too, and the sound makes my skin crawl. I pause the recording and pull my headphones off and clatter onto the desk. My reflection stares back at me from the dark computer screen. I pick the headphones up again and press play with trembling fingers. Veronica is describing my presentation from last week, and her voice drips with mockery. She imitates my stutter that I have worked years to control, and the whole room erupts in laughter. I hear someone slam a table, and another voice chokes on their coffee. She calls me the diversity hire. Says I only got the job because they needed to fill a quota. My hand grips the mouse so hard the plastic creaks under my fingers. Another manager asks if I am really that bad, and Veronica says I am worse. Describes how she changes my reports before submitting them because mine are embarrassing. The recording picks up chairs squeaking and someone opening a soda can with a sharp hiss. I feel tears burning behind my eyes, but I blink them back and keep listening. Someone mentions my name for the upcoming promotion, and Veronica laughs so hard she snorts. I assume the recording must be taken out of context or edited somehow. I convince myself that Veronica is always fair to me, even when she gave my project. Roll back to my computer, sign, supported my work. I find forwarded change where she took credit for my ideas, and my jaw clenches until my teeth ache. I pull up my performance reviews and see her handwriting on notes that describe me as adequate but unremarkable. I open my desk drawer and find the birthday card she signed with a smile fade back. The card now feels like a prop, and I crumple it in my fist. I drop it in the trash can, and the sound of it hitting the bottom echoes in my ears.
Come here.
The recording is 43 minutes long, and I have only heard 12. I press play again, and I in the chair with my arms crossed tight against my chest. The midpoint of the recording is where everything changes, and I sit up straight so fast, my chair rolls back. Veronica is discussing the promotion list. She says he barely speaks English correctly. I freeze, and my breath catches in my throat. My parents immigrated here before I was born, and I grew up in this country. She continues and says clients would never take him seriously with that accent. Born in Ohio, she says, the other managers murmur agreement, and someone writes something down, and the pen scratches against paper. I grab my phone, and my hands shake as I forward the recording to my personal email. I stand up from my desk, and my chair slams into the wall behind me. I walk toward HR, and my footsteps pound against the carpet. My coworker Jenny looks up from her desk and asks if I am okay. I do do not answer, and I push through the double doors to the HR wing. The receptionist stands up when she sees my face, and her coffee cup wobbles in her hand. I ask to speak with the director immediately. She picks up her phone and dials, and I can hear my own pulse in my ears. The director opens her door and waves me inside. I sit down and pull up the recording on my phone and press play without explaining anything. The director's face changes. Shock. The phone rings 3 times before Veronica answers with a cheerful hello. The truth is, Veronica had been blocking my promotion for 2 years, using fabricated performance concerns. The recording revealed she had done the same thing to 3 other employees, who all happened to be minorities or immigrants. HR launched a full investigation and found emails where she discussed keeping certain people off leadership tracks. She was terminated within 72 hours and escorted out by security while the whole floor watched. The director called me into her office the following week and offered me the position Veronica had been blocking me from. I accepted it in writing and signed the paperwork with a pen that felt heavier than anything I had ever held. Veronica tried to sue for wrongful termination, but the recording was legally obtained through company systems. Her case was dismissed, and she became unhireable in our industry. I moved into her old office last month and took down every photo she had on the walls. The frames made a hollow sound when I dropped them into the donation box. I hung my diplomas in their place and straightened them until they were perfectly level. I owe my promotion to the manager.
I became obsessed with identifying paint chemical signatures. It ended up exposing the art forger who framed my mother. I spent 6 years learning to identify paint formulations by their chemical composition, and nobody understood why a 27-year-old woman would waste her time analyzing pigments under a microscope instead of doing something practical with her chemistry degree. My name is Victoria Hayes, and I've been working as a lab technician at a pharmaceutical company since graduating from UC Berkeley. But every evening and weekend, I'd be in my apartment dissecting paint samples, running gas chromatography tests, and building databases of chemical signatures from different manufacturers and time periods. It started when I took an elective course on art conservation during my senior year and became fascinated by how you could date paintings through pigment analysis, how titanium white wasn't commercially available until 1921, how certain cadmium formulations could pinpoint a decade, how trace elements in lapis lazuli could identify the My boyfriend left me after 8 months because I'd rather spend Friday nights running spectroscopy tests than going to bars. And my mother kept suggesting gently that maybe I should focus on advancing my actual career instead of this expensive hobby that was taking over my tiny apartment with equipment I'd bought on credit. My father had died when I was 16, and my mother Elena had supported us through her work as a mid-level commercial artist, doing magazine illustrations and corporate commissions that paid bills but never quite fulfilled her artistic ambitions. She'd wanted to be a fine artist, had studied painting in Prague before immigrating to the States, but life and practical necessities had redirected her path, and I think she saw my obsession with paint chemistry as another example of chasing impractical passions instead of building stable foundations. The irony was that my mother understood artistic obsession better than anyone. Even if she channeled hers into commercial work, she'd always
So
encouraged my
guys,
interest in science.
I might have to end the video right here. So bye.
Challenging, but this paint analysis hobby seemed different.